This patch is called Lullaby for Tomita. To me, Tomita is one of the great masters of making analog voices, choirs, and solo sounds. So I wanted to try to just use the ARP and make something that I hope he would be slightly proud of as a tribute to him. Once again, post-it notes on each part of the ARP that I'm using today. This sound only uses VCO2 as its main sound source. I've patched the pulse width into the VCF. For the frequency modulation of oscillator 2, we're going to turn up sample and hold about 3/4 of the way. We're going to patch the mult into the ADSR, and we're going to patch the lag processor into VCO1. You may be asking why I patched a pulse width into the VCF, since on an ARP, the pulse width is automatically normaled into the VCF. I really just did it for a quick variation from pulse to sine. Oscillator 3's sawtooth is going to go into the lag processor. On the VCF, you're going to want to turn your filter frequency all the way up. Resonance just up a tiny bit. From the mult, halfway up. And a little bit of VCO2's FM modulation about to the first mark. Attack up a tiny bit. First line for sustain and decay. And a little bit past that line for the release. Our attack and release envelope set pretty simply. Attack all the way down, release almost all the way up. In the VCA, we're going to turn up our VCF, and we're going to turn up the AR. In your mixer section, turn up your VCA, and turn up your reverb all the way. The input of the mult is coming from the voltage inverter. The first patch cable is going into the ADSR modding the VCF. The second patch cable is modding ADSR of VCO2. This sound really takes shape because of the voltage processor. We're going to take the output of the ADSR and go into the voltage inverter. From the voltage inverter, we're going to go into the mults. Here's the sound without inverting the voltage. Really gives it that vocal attack. Since I wanted to keep oscillator 2's sine wave free for a tonal variation, I had to invent another sine wave. So I'm taking oscillator 3's sawtooth and going into the lag processor. From the lag processor, I'm going into VCO2. This is what happens when you turn off the lag. So the lag processor is kind of like a wave shaper. Sample and hold is creating our notes, but we don't have a keyboard hooked up and we don't have a sequencer hooked up. So in this patch, you have to play your rate slider.